I've had a lot of viewers ask me a really simple question, and that is, what is the very, very best wealth creation plan? Frank, you talk a lot about wealth on this channel, but what's your best? Today, we're going to dig deep on that exact topic and show you a fail-safe plan that you can start today. Hey guys, Frank Thomas here from Wealth Generation Strategies, and today I'm going to be talking about what I think is the very best wealth creation plan. Why do I think this is a great plan? Because it's easy, you can do it regardless of your state right now, and you can get started today. And honestly and truthfully, it is foolproof. If you follow through, I've got 6 steps in this plan. If you follow through with all 6 steps, you one day will be wealthy, and I can promise you that. Let's get started right away with point number 1, and that is get ready for the long game. I know everybody hates hearing this, and they like to get wealthy like that, but it doesn't work that way. You have a lot of things that you got to get working up here, and it takes time for you to change your habits and do a lot of things differently. So get ready for the long game. And this long game can be anywhere from 5 to 15 years in time. The faster you pick up the principles and put them into practice, the shorter it takes you to get to where you want to be. But I promise you, 5 years sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. You will blow away 5 years quick. I'm 61 this year, and I can't believe I've blown away 61 years. So I'm just telling you, this is not a long time. So just put that into your thought patterns here. But get ready for the long game. Continue all your short-term efforts if you want to. You're going to be trying different things as you go along. You're going to try to start a business. You're going to buy some crypto and make it big. You're going to go to the casino, or you're going to do whatever. As long as you stick to this long game plan that we're going to formulate today, you will be rich. If you don't, you won't be. And I can promise you that. Because now you're relying on one thing, and that is luck. So I'm going to just say, if you are, good luck, dude, because you're in a, wow, you're not in a good place. Because I depended on that way too long. I knew 30 years ago how to make this plan work. And I didn't do it. I dragged my heels. So get ready for the long plan. Point number 2 is a point that I make over and over in this channel, is begin to pay yourself first. You want to establish a workable savings plan where you put away a consistent amount every time you receive money into your hands. In other words, a paycheck. This will be the establishment of your long-term plan, and you'll stick to this. You know, every time you get paid, you want to put away money, and it could be $100, $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, whatever you can afford. And the more you can afford is the faster you get to your end goal with this plan. Just heads up. But you want to make sure that you're consistent, and consistency here is key. If you're not consistent and you don't make this a priority on all your expenses every time you get a paycheck, you will not keep to it, and you will not succeed in this plan. This is one of the most important cornerstones of this plan, and to make it work. And it's all about being consistent. I sat down and figured out, if 32 years ago, when I first got married to my wife, if I would have just started putting about $200 every paycheck away, I would be very done right now. I'd be on the beach somewhere, and I wouldn't be talking to you guys. So maybe it's a good thing in some ways, because I do enjoy talking to you guys. But the truth of the matter is, I would be done, and this plan would have succeeded. Maybe I would have been talking to you from the other side of the plan. Who knows? You never know in life. But you have to establish a way that you pay yourself first, and you pay yourself each and every time you get paid. But before you start paying yourself first, if you're enjoying this video, give it a like and be sure to subscribe to get notified on the next time I drop a video. Because I'm always dropping videos on how you can build more wealth in your life. So please subscribe. Point number 3, learn how you can safely invest. Having money is one thing, and that's really important, but properly investing it is a completely different animal. what good is it for inflation to reduce the value of your money over time? Yeah, in a recent video, I said, hey, you could stuff your money in your mattress, but you're not getting any return on that investment. The mattress is not going to pay you for stuffing money into it. It might feel safe and it keeps it in your hands, but it's just going to devalue over time. Now, truthfully, for this to work and work well, you want to get at least a 7 or 8% return on your money. Oh, Frank, that's impossible. It's trash. You can get this kind of return. And the easiest way to get this return is just to invest in the S&P 500, like it gives you diversification. It gives you a consistent return of about 7 to 8%. You can also look at maybe investing if you're a person who can invest into properties and you're comfortable doing that, then do that too. Or do that instead. It's up to you what you want to do. But you want to get as good a return on your investment as possible. And it all comes down to learning. Next point. If you decide to invest into the stock market, you got to learn to ignore the cycles. I call it ignoring the hype. Does losing 50% of the value of your investment keep you up at night? It shouldn't, because this is a long game. And if you look at the S&P 500 over the last 100 years, it's done nothing but go up. Yes, sometimes it goes down. In late 2010s, like 2018, 2019, I can't remember the exact year, the stock market went right into the toilet. And I watched my $25,000, $30,000 investment go down to $15,000. And it kept me up at night. But I knew that I had invested into solid investments. And I knew that they were not going to go away. And I was absolutely correct. Fast forward about a year, and I not only regained all my losses in the market value, I'd actually made money in market value. So you got to learn that you're in a long game here. If you decide to invest in the stock market, you're in a long game. And don't worry if the market goes down. Idealistically, if you decide to become a dividend investor, you can use the dividends and don't care about the actual value of the money, okay? So just keep that in thought. Number 5. Now let's say you want to be a superstar and you want to get this done much closer to the 5-year window that I initially mentioned at the beginning of the video. Well, you can. And the way to do it is to increase your contributions wherever you can. You're going to get windfalls in life. Hey, there's going to be times when you got to spend money that you don't want to. But you're going to have times when, hey, you go buy a lottery ticket and you win $5,000. You get a tax return of $10,000. You have somebody come to you and give you some money, $500. Let's say the government just sent me a check for $400 on carbon tax. I could go, woohoo, let's go get a new toy, a new trinket. Or I can say, nope, I'm going to put this into my long-term savings plan. And that's what you want to do. Honestly and truthfully, I was able to save, I'm sitting at about $175,000 right now. And the only reason I was able to do that in under 2 years is because I took every extra windfall that came my way and plunked it in. I put solar panels on my house and I got a $5,000 grant. Now I could have said, oh yay, $5,000 grant, let's go have some fun. No, I put it into the long-term plan. I actually discovered that with my return rate that I'm getting, and I'm getting about 14%, believe it or not, I should have the whole value of those panels within the next 15, 16 years, just with that $5,000 in gains in dividends and increased value in the market. But even if it doesn't happen, I still put it in there. When I get my tax returns, it goes in there. I sat down and figured it out one day. I've been putting my tax returns into it for two years now, and this year coming up will be my 3rd year. By then, I'll have like $25,000, $30,000 that I wouldn't have had in there. That normally what I would have done is gone to have a vacation or paid off debt with it. It's now sitting in this long-term savings, and it's going to grow and grow and grow. So anytime you can get a windfall in life, put it into your long-term savings. Don't think about, woohoo, you get a bonus at work. I remember the first time I got a bonus at work, It was a $5,000 bonus. And I was like, yeah, give me the money, baby. And I got the money. It was about $2,700. And I went, hey, whoa, what just happened here? What just happened was the tax man came along and said, oh, Mr. Thomas, you made a whole bunch of extra money. And they took their slice, and it was pretty darn close to 50%. I wasn't impressed. I'll leave it at that. And it worked out that instead of us having, my wife and I and the kids having a nice vacation that year, I paid off the Visa card, or I paid some of it off. So it was gone. When I got a $10,000 bonus a year or two later, I went, oh, yeah, I really wanted the money. I won't lie. But the whole pain of the taxman coming along and gobbling up 5 of it, it just did nothing for me. So I said to the pay office, I said, please just put it into my RRSP, my long-term, like my registered retirement savings plan. Please just put it there. And that's what they did for me. Fast forward, that turned into much more than $10,000. And I actually have transferred most of that over into my long-term plan. So it's turned into $20,000, $30,000 over the years. So right there, that's awesome. So take any windfalls that you can and put them right away. Don't think about it. Do not past go. Do not collect $200. Just put it into the long-term savings, and you will accelerate and get yourself closer to the 5-year window. Point number 6. This is really important too. A lot of people don't do this, and I'm actually guilty of this too. Number 6 is to plan your exit plan. I never thought of the play on words there. Plan your exit plan. 2 different plans. But you want to plan what you're going to do when you get to the end of the road on this and you've succeeded and you built up your fund. If you don't do this, and what's the point of getting there, and you're not going to know what to do with yourself? In some ways, I'm struggling with that, and I'm not even there yet. I'm talking about it to my wife. My wife and I have been having some pretty heady discussions about, okay, Frank, so what does retirement look for you? Because you can't survive without working. You can't go and live in the Caribbean because you want to be home, but you want to go, and you don't know what you want. And she is so correct, and I don't know another way to say it. So you need to start to build your exit plan. And if you have a significant other, the two of you need to sit down and talk about this extensively. And it's not an easy conversation, I won't lie. Also, too, your exit plan will also be, hopefully, a non-depleting fund. In other words, what will happen is, let's say you've saved $650,000 and you're finding your dividends are giving you enough that you never deplete the principal amount of the money. You just eat up the dividends every month. Then you're in a good place, because it might not grow, or it might grow a little bit. It might grow with appreciation and time in the markets. But the truth of the matter is it will live through your whole lifespan. You don't want to be in a position where you think you've saved enough, and then you kind of look at your accounts one day, 10 years into retirement, and go, oh crap, I got to go work at Walmart because we are running out of money. That's a depleting fund. Now, it's okay to have a depleting fund as long as you account for the longest lifespan between you and your significant other. So my wife is about 6 to 7 years younger than me. So I build my plan with my retirement date, her death date. So I have to plan for a longer period of time. Did it matter to how much I had to save? Absolutely. I had to save at least another $150,000 to $200,000 on my plan to make this work. And I know what that is, and I know how it's going to look. So you need to know what it looks like and where you're going if you want to get there. And we'll just leave it at that. So those are the 6 points that I think you really need to dig into. Now, regardless of what you do in life, start your long-term plan. Above all else, just get started. That is the most important thing. Don't do what I did. Discover what you have to do, and let little trivial problems get in your way, and you don't get started. That's not what you want to do. This is vital, because if you don't, everything else you do in life could fail you, and now you're kind of in a hole. And honestly, like I said, I've had some business ventures take off, but I didn't really understand the value and how to invest money properly. And it just kind of blew out of my hands. So if everything else fails you in life and you actually follow this long-term plan, you're golden. No matter what you did and no matter how many mistakes you did along the way, as long as you followed this boring, and it's boring, I won't lie, it's boring. As long as you follow it, then you're going to be in such a good way that one day you're going to say, Frank, that was the best long-term plan I've ever heard. But in point number 3, now remember I was talking about learning how you can invest safely? I recently did a video that should be showing up on the screen shortly, or it might be there right now, that talks about my 7 favorite financial books that changed my life. And I'm serious. Changed my life. Made me think a completely different way. You want to watch this video, so be sure to click on it when it comes up, and I'm sure it will change your life too. So go over there and check it out. Otherwise, I want to thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.